Let's go ahead and install Visual Studio 2015, and then once we install Visual Studio 2015, we will install ASP.NET Core. So let's go open up a web browser, and let's go to Visual Studio 2015 Community. Once we type that, you'll see right here where you'll be able to download Visual Studio 2015 Community. This is a free version from Microsoft. You can come down here and click download. Once you click download, it will ask you what version, if you want the ISO or the EXE. Let's click EXE. Now on my computer, I've already have Visual Studio 2015 Professional, but there's really no difference between the versions. So let's click run. Once you click run, it's going to pop up right here. And I'm going to show you on 2015 Professional what you will actually walk through. It's not going to allow me to install Community version because I already have Professional currently installed on this device. Let me show you what you'll actually have to do when you install this. So what I can do, I can come down to my Start menu, type Visual Studio 2015. I'll click Uninstall. Now I'm not going to uninstall it, I'm just going to click to change it. And as we got it right here, I'm going to right click it, click Change. Give it a second as it loads. So right here it loads this for Professional 2015. Like I stated before, Professional and Community are no different as far as the attributes and features associated with the versioning. Just remember that the Community version is free for open source projects, and if you are a company who makes less than $1 million a year, you can also use Visual Studio 2015 Community. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Modify, and this is what you'll see when you install Visual Studio 2015 Community. You'll have all these features. I want you to make sure that you click the Update 1. You can click some of these other items. I click Common Tools for Visual C++ 2015. If you go down to Windows and Web Development, make sure you click Office Developer Tools, SQL Server Developer Tools. Also click Microsoft Web Developer Tools, and you can come in here and check some of these other items if you want to do Universal Windows apps. There's a lot of different extensibility with this. If you want to build cross-platform apps with Apache Cordova, you can. But make sure that you click Microsoft Web Developer Tools, SQL Server Data Tools, and also Visual Studio Extensibility Tools Update. Once you do that, you're going to click Next and go ahead and install these features. You also have this language tab. Of course, it's in English in this case, but you'll click Next. This will take anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes to install, depending on your internet connection. Once you do that, you will restart your machine. So this is how you install Visual Studio 2015. Let me go ahead and exit out of this. I want to cancel. Now I'm going to go back to my web browser, and I have a tab right here where I can go to ASP.NET, the website. So if you go to www.asp.net, then you can go over here to Learn, and once you click Learn, you go to ASP.NET 5 RC1. Then once you're here, go to where it says see all the ASP.NET 5 documentations at docs.asp.net. Click that. And now you're here. So it will give you all the tutorials associated with ASP.NET Core. As you can see on this documentation, it still says ASP.NET 5. But now let's go to installing ASP.NET 5 on Windows. You'll also see for Mac OS X and Linux. So this is a nice resource website to be able to install ASP.NET Core. So let's go to ASP.NET 5 on Windows. Once we do that, it will show us how to install it. So first we install Visual Studio 2015, and then what we'll do is we will install ASP.NET 5. I already have ASP.NET 5 on here, but I'm going to show you. You just click right here. It will download this, and then it will prompt you to install Microsoft ASP.NET 5 RC1 Update 1. In this case, since I've already had it installed, it gives me a repair to uninstall or close. You'll click Install, and once it finishes, you'll close out of this dialog box. So once ASP.NET Core RC1 Update 1 is installed, you can validate the installation on your device. So let's cancel out of this. and it will tell you to run a command prompt, and you can see right here, if we go CMD, and let's run this, and let's run this command, which is dnvm list. And this is going to show us all the versions of ASP.NET Core on a device. As you've noticed, we have the version, which is 1.0.0 RC1 update 1 with the CLR and the core CLR. You have the different architecture associated with the versions, whether it's 64-bit or 32-bit. And my default right now is in a 32-bit application. I can go ahead and change that if I wanted to. But just remember that the CLR is the full CLR associated with ASP.NET Core. This is what runs on Windows. And the core CLR is associated with cross-platform applications for ASP.NET Core, whether you're running it on Windows, Mac OS X, or Linux. So this is what you can set as far as the version you want for the device you're running it on. Now let's say that there's a new upgraded version for ASP.NET Core. You can type this command, dnvm upgrade. And look at that. It will go ahead and upgrade the version of ASP.NET Core on your device. It will add it to the user path and the process path on your device, which is very nice. Then you can come back here and see this again, dnvm list. See if any changes happen with the upgrade. It's the same, so we have the latest version. You can also see the primary version that is set on your device. So you can type dnx version. And once you have that, it will show you which version is preferred on your device. So in this case, we have the .NET execution environment, what version we're at, the CLR type, what type of architecture. It's on a Windows OS version 10.0, and the runtime ID is Windows 1086. So now we went ahead and installed Visual Studio 2015. And once we installed Visual Studio 2015, we installed ASP.NET Core. And then we validated the versioning associated with our operating system as far as our core CLR and CLR via command prompt. So we have our environment set up. In the next lecture, I'll show you how to set up Visual Studio Code on Mac OS X, and I'll also validate the DNX runtime on our Mac OS X operating system. I want to thank you for joining me in this lecture. Have a nice day.